Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. I know I'm still rocking the Baylor hoodie. I don't know if you're watching this video before the Final Four or after the Final Four. So if you're watching it before the Final Four, then give me a thumbs up for the Baylor Bears tonight. I really hope my alma mater wins. If you're watching it after, well, let's just look into the future and hope that they won, right? I mean, I don't really know when you're watching this video. It could be Sunday and they lost. I look like an idiot right now, but who knows? I'm still rooting for my Baylor Bears, but that is not the topic of today's video. Today's video is all about your mailbag questions. A lot of you guys use the hashtag Eagles, and so we're going to go ahead and answer as many as we can. So let's start with Mr. Clean, who says, I'm big on Jaylen Waddle. If we can get him, I'd really be happy. I would too, honestly. I mean, I'm all for taking a wide receiver at 12. I said that for forever, at least in the first round. Problem is that Jaylen Waddle is probably your only shot at a wide receiver at number 12. And I think most of the mock drafts I have seen, at least the Todd McShay one a couple of days ago, has Waddle going inside the top 10. Like, we always see there's no shot at Jamar Chase. I keep seeing some mock drafts that Devontae Smith falling, but that's just not going to happen. Kyle Pitts is going to be gone as well. So the big three that you wanted are not going to be there. So like Mr. Clean said, whether you're big on Waddle or not, he's really the only legitimate option you could have at wide receiver at number 12 overall. But as I mentioned, it does seem to be a consensus, for at least among draft experts, that Waddle's not going to be there. And so if he's not there, it'll either be a cornerback or a linebacker. I feel very confident it'll be one of those two if Waddle is not there or any of the other wide receivers. So, I mean, honestly, like I said, I want to get a wide receiver, but I did mention on a video a couple days ago that Tom McShay's latest mock draft has the Eagles taking Parsons and then Rashad Bateman in the second round, and I'd be for that as long as you get a wide receiver that we hope can have a big impact. There are some decent ones in the later rounds, and so maybe they go defense first and then wide receiver later, but they got to get a wide receiver at some point. Okay, pin comment down below. Who should the Eagles take at number 12? Let me know what you guys think down below right now in the comments section. Like I said, wide receiver is my top choice, but then linebacker and corner are right there, and the odds of Farley, Surtain, or Jaycee Horn being there at 12 are very high. And the way I look at it, I think Parsons is going to be there for sure, unless someone is just absolutely in love with him, or at least needs a linebacker, which is not very likely. So give me your thoughts again down below in the pin comment. I want to see what you guys think the Eagles should take at number 12. All right, let's move on to our next question here. Let me look at my question list. Let's go for Tyler Huford, obviously your last name, who says, quote, who do you think they'll pick at 12? I think if there's no wide receivers at 12, they got to go with a safety and gamble on somebody in free agency to cover Jalen's back. No, I would not go safety at all. I mean, they just got Anthony Harris. Like, I don't understand why you would want them to go ahead and get a safety. Honestly, as I've said before, I'm falling in love with Micah Parsons. I was very much in love with him early, like a year ago when I was just talking about, who you want to take, when you're a linebacker, who's the best one, Micah Parsons. I fell all out of love with him because I wanted them to take a wide receiver at 6, and Parsons at number 6 didn't make a lot of sense. However, with the Eagles now going back to 12, I'm back in love with Micah Parsons because it makes a ton of sense. Again, I love Patrick Surtain. If he's there at 12, I'd take him over Parsons, but I don't think he gets past Denver at 9 or even Dallas at 10. Maybe Jaycee Horn is there, but he had a really good pro day, and so now he's getting mocked a lot higher, so honestly, I think the best player available is going to be Parsons, and so I'm getting ready for a really nice Micah Parsons sort of draft. I mentioned Horn earlier. Again, I just don't think he's going to be there. Now, originally, you'd think he'd be a later to mid-round, like a Cardinals in the mid-15, 16, 17 range, but he had a killer pro day, and so when you have a killer pro day, you start to kind of go ahead and move up in draft. And I think Horn is another one of those players that's not going to be available, which is why, again, I'm doubling down on taking Micah Parsons because he seems to be the most likely and logical pick from the number 12 spot. I'll ask you guys this. Pick one. Would you rather have Micah Parsons or Jaycee Horn, the cornerback, at number 12 overall? Type MP down below for Micah Parsons or type JH down below for Jaycee Horn. I'm going to see what you guys think down below in the comments section. Before we go ahead and keep going, if you want to be in tune with more great Eagles news and rumor video, including my upcoming latest mock draft, which is going to drop next Wednesday, make sure you guys are subscribed to Philadelphia Eagles Now, as we have 17,000, like 100 and something subscribers, trying to get to 18,000 before, hopefully for the NFL draft. Should we get a lot more before that time? We have a lot of time before the draft, but I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe, and because we take most of our mailbag videos from subscribers, that's another big incentive why you do it. Plus, it's free, and we do great content here, even though I know I'm wearing the wrong color green and the wrong team, but still, like, imagine I'm wearing my Eagle hoodie instead of my Baylor hoodie. But Final Four, national championship game, you got to rep your alma mater. Damien says, at this point, do you think it would be just be best to go for Pat Parson or Surtain or another top defensive player and go wide receiver later in the draft? Yeah, honestly, I would. Listen, there's some good wide receivers that are going to go in rounds 2 and 3. I think there's some real talent there that you could go ahead and steal in the second or third round without getting a wide receiver in the first round. Again, I'll say it for the 9 billionth time. I want a wide receiver at 12. They're just not going to be there. So you go back to last year, and you saw some good ones. Van Jefferson out of Florida had a pretty good rookie year with the LA Rams. Obviously, Chase Claypool, a little dramatic, but still had a great rookie season at Notre Dame with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of those were taken right around Jalen Hurts in the second round. So now you got guys like Rashad Bateman, who's either going to be a late first or early second. Elijah Moore, who's really, really good, but not getting a lot of hype out of Ole Miss. Terrence Marshall, Rondale Moore. I mean, the guy Rondale Moore is incredibly fast. I'd love him in the third round. Get him out of Purdue. And the guy in a little bit later round, like 4th or 5th, De'Ami Brown out of UNC, are all legit options that could potentially become a star. Like, you don't have to get a wide receiver in the first round for them to become a superstar. Plenty of wide receivers have been great in the second or third round. I just think this year the great ones are in the first round, but there are still options in the second round. So to circle back to your point and your question, yes, Parsons, Surtain, Horn, one of those three at number 12 would make sense because that's the caliber you're getting in the first round, and then taking a wide receiver would not be the worst thing in the world. And so that's kind of the main point of breaking down some of the other options there in the later round. Which day, two wide receiver would you guys rather have? Rather have Rashad Bateman, Elijah Moore, Terrence Marshall, or Rondale Moore? Personally, I'd rather have Bateman because I think he's more of a late day one. But if he's there in the day two, I would definitely take him. But which one would you guys want? Type RB for Rashad Bateman, type EM for Elijah Moore, type TM for Terrence Marshall, or RM for Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore's quick. He at least has that going for him. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Okay, before we go ahead and keep going, it depends on when you're watching this video, but there's still time to go ahead and bet on not only the Final Four, but the National Championship game as well, as I, of course, have already done so with our friends at BetUS. I put a big buddy deposit down in my BetUS account at chatsports.com/EaglesBet. I used the promo code Eagles125 and got that 125% deposit bonus, and I did about, 4 weeks ago now, put it all down essentially on Baylor, and Baylor was like plus 400 at the time to win the National Championship game, and so I'm going to have a pretty good chance at making some money. But if you guys want to bet on the Natty, whether it's Baylor or not, go ahead and get your bets in down below. You can still bet on other things too. Like if March Madness, you're watching this on like a Tuesday and it's already gone, even though it's going to be released over the weekend. But if you watch it on a Tuesday, baseball is here. The NBA is getting ready for the playoff push. And then obviously the NHL. Almost all sports are still going right now. Masters coming up in next weekend, I guess. So you can use all of these deposit bonuses for your betting pleasure with our friends at BetUS. If you have any questions about setting up an account or just gambling in general, let me know what they are by emailing us, eagles@chatsports.com. We'll get you guys all helped out and answer any of your questions. Again, chatsports.com/EaglesBet, promo code Eagles125. If you're watching this before the Final Four, bet on Baylor, baby. I'm telling you. I mean, come on, right? Let's go. I'm not an expert, but I just feel like my alma mater is going to have a chance at winning. Okay, two more here. C-Note22 says, what is the deal with Jalen Hurts? Why does everyone think he's not capable of being a top 10 quarterback? I don't know. And I honestly have no idea. Listen, Hurts has all the tools, okay? And that's something that you can just not teach in the National Football League, right? Either your quarterback has the tools to be great or he doesn't. And if he has the tools to be great, then all you got to do is put him in the right offense with the right players and he'll be successful. And now the question is Nick Sirianni's offense the right offense? I hope so. I don't know. Do they have the right players around him? I think so from an offensive line and running back perspective, but it'd be nice for them to go ahead and add some more offensive weapons like wide receiver. But he has all the tools to be successful, and now he just has to prove it going into 2021. Remember, he had some great moments. Fourth quarter of the Packer game, had some incredible throws in that one. Obviously beat the Saints at home. That was a really good defense, number one in the NFL, but also wasn't fantastic in some of the other games. So there's no guarantee he's going to be good. And I guess if you watch the film, there are some mistakes that he made, but you got to remember, there was no offensive line. There was very little running game last year, and he's throwing to no-name garbage wide receivers. And so the hope is this year that Rager takes another step and the offensive line stays healthy and Miles Sanders stays healthy, and then you get a rookie wide receiver at some point. And if all those things can come together, I think Hurts can be a very, very good quarterback. And I think those 4 games last year, at least getting some starts in the NFL, is going to go a long way not only into the offseason, but heading into year 2. Think how much better Patrick Mahomes was after his couple of starts at the end of his first year versus the start of his second year. I'm not saying Hurts is Patrick Mahomes at all, but it helps to get some reps underneath your legs. Drop a like. You guys should totally agree with me on this, right? If you guys trust in Jalen Hurts, at least for now, drop a like down below and let me see those. I want to say at least 200 likes. I think at least 200 of you guys are going to agree with me here in terms of your trust in Jalen Hurts. So prove it by giving this video a thumbs up. All right, we'll do one more. We got time for one more. Mallory says, who will win the NFC East and who will be the bottom feeder, rank 1 to 4? Ooh, man, let me think about this. Here's the deal about the NFC East. Every NFC East team has issues, but every NFC East team is better than what it was last year. And we can go through a short list here of the issues. Dallas has defensive issues. They have a lot of problems at cornerback, and Dak Prescott coming off of a really bad injury. We don't know how good he's going to go ahead and be. Zeke Elliott was a shell of himself and has been. He's no longer this best running back in the National Football League. The Giants are getting their quarterback, who was injured off and on last year, and Daniel Jones, and people are trying to figure out if this is the make or break year for him. They also have defensive issues and really aren't, to me, the scariest team in the NFC East, and I think that Saquon coming back has some benefits for them, but he also comes off of an injury. Washington is everybody's favorite in the national media, but Washington doesn't have a quarterback. Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not going to win more than 8 or 9 games with Washington, regardless of how good that roster is. I think Washington's going to trade up for a quarterback because that's the missing piece. If I had to rank them right now, I'll be a homer and I'll say Philadelphia 1, just because I do think the Eagles have nice pieces because they were all injured last year, and a healthy offensive line goes a long way. I'd say Dallas at 2 because I think Dak coming back is going to be fine. Washington will be right there, 2B probably, sitting there at 3. Again, they don't have a quarterback. And 4 will be the New York Football Giants because I'm not a Daniel Jones believer, but maybe somebody up there in NYC is. Okay, ultimately for today here at Philadelphia Eagles Now. Use the hashtag Eagles in the comment section down below to get your question in for next week's mailbag video. I normally go through the previous week's mailbag, which is this one, to get questions for next week. So use the hashtag Eagles on that. Stay tuned for more great Eagles content as well. And go Baylor Bears this weekend. Ultimately for today here at Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.